On this episode of Imagine, Create, Inspire.
For Best Traditional R&B Performance.
And the Grammy goes to Leon Bridges, Bet They Ain't Worth a Hand, and How Deep Is Your Love, PJ Morton featuring Yeba.
I want to thank Morton Records, my band who played on this, Brian, Ed, Dave Crenshaw played that night.
You are listening to Imagine, Create, Inspire, the podcast. Join host Bruce Andrews in conversations with creatives. Every artist has a story, and the struggle is real to stay inspired and in the flow. Join in the conversation by leaving us your comments, and thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast, Imagine, Create, and Inspire. You know, our theme is 3 words in a very deliberate, sequential order. Imagine, create, and inspire. Imagination leads to creation, and creation leads to inspiration. And inspiration, when you properly apply it, Dave, produces hope. And hope is a commodity. Hope is fuel for the human soul. So if you think about it that way, I mean, inciting the imagination and creating art is not a second-tier activity. It's not trivial. Mm-hmm. It's mission critical. So, you know, getting people to imagine, create, and inspire, however they're inspired to create art or solutions to problems, it's mission critical, man. We need more of it. So these conversations we're having are all about the creative flow. How to stay in the creative flow, because it ain't always easy, is it, Dave?
It's not at all.
I got with me as our guest today, my good friend, Dave Crenshaw. I'm fortunate to know Dave for I don't know, better than a decade now.
Yes.
Even more fortunate to have played on some stages with him. He condescended to playing drums with our band on several occasions. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
And but Dave is a Grammy Award winning musician, and so let's just start there, Dave. I mean, tell me about some of those experiences with PJ Morton and you know, Maxwell and down the line, dude.
Yeah. So the first major thing I did, I was able to tour with Maxwell. I played with him for 10 years. I started playing with him, I think, in 2010, and I was able to do you know, a couple couple TV appearances, you know, things like that.
You're like VH1 Storyteller.
VH1 Storytellers. I did Today's Show with him. A few other things, you know. But, yeah, that was the first part. But as far as PJ, I've been knowing PJ probably about 20 years. And I started playing with him in, I think in 20, I lost track of the years.
Where's he from, man?
He's from New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, New Orleans. And excellent, well-known, you know, musician, songwriter, pianist. But I actually met him here in Alabama probably about 20 years ago. He was here in town doing a show, and I just had some percussion and things with him. Well, with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you think I can sit in with you and stuff? And he was like, huh? And then, you know, everybody in there, they's like, yeah, Dave, yeah, he can play. So since then, you know, we had a friendship, and, you know, I've been playing with him since then. So yeah.
That's an incredible album. Is the name of that album Gumbo, the one that won the?
Yeah, well, Gumbo was nominated, and it didn't win. It was nominated for Album of the Year, and then Gumbo Unplugged, which was a live version of Gumbo with an orchestra and 22 pieces. That was the one that actually won a Grammy.
Y'all need to look that up.
Yeah.
I mean, that is some funky, gospel-infused, soulful music.
Yeah, it is.
It's a heck of a project, man.
It is. So I was, you know, thankful and fortunate to be a part of that you know, recording in that project. And, you know, from that, he won a Grammy from that, and then 2 or 3 years later, he won Gospel Album of the Year, and I was a part of that as well.
How about when the guy that wins a Grammy, you know, a lot of times they get on there and thank everybody, and they don't thank the musicians that played on the album. Mm-hmm. But how about when PJ Morton wins a Grammy, and he mentions your name on on TV?
I was expecting not to get.
I mean, I got up out of my chair.
Yeah. I was expecting really not to, because I was, you know, more proud.
He didn't have to.
Yeah, he didn't have to, but, you know, he's the type person, he wants to acknowledge, you know, everybody who, you know, was a part of his journey. So
yeah.
I was very appreciative of that and everything. So, you know, I didn't expect it, but I was like, cool, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So all that was like, I mean, the thing with PJ, the last thing you did was like 2018, 2019, something like that?
Yes.
So it's probably the last significant thing you did before the big COVID shutdown, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And so moving into to the COVID situation, that period of time that we all had to experience, and it was just difficult to muster up the creative flow. I mean, you had some particular challenges.
Yeah, when COVID started, the COVID pandemic hit, I started having, vision problems. So long story short, I started, losing my vision in my eyes slowly. And I knew it was some issues because I had a couple of issues, but I didn't know it was going to, lead to where it is now.
So where are you now, bro?
I have low vision, so I probably have maybe less than 10% vision. I can still see things, but not clearly. My depth perception is not strong, and it's pretty much like I'm looking through smoke, or I can just see images, shadows.
Yeah.
And I just see, really just two colors, white and black.
Gotcha.
Right now, and gray, gray sometimes. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue into maybe the most interesting thing about you, and that's saying something because you're pretty interesting. This whole idea of synesthesia. I mean, you're a synesthete, and so I can wax poetic about that, but tell the folks what your experience is. So now that your physical vision is diminished to about 85 or 90%, you're sort of more aware of or more reliant on this, I'll call it a sixth sense that you have.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's that like?
Well, it's something that I actually knew was there, but I didn't know it existed. It was.
You didn't know how to name you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I would always, when I'm playing drums or anything, people are always talking about you looking around and stuff, because I see kind of like watermarks of colors.
Wow.
When I'm playing music, and most of the time my eyes are closed when I'm playing.
So like when you're up on a ride cymbal or something, you're like seeing a different color from when you're.
Yeah, depending on the timbre and the pitch and stuff like that, I see different colors.
And just like for the sake of giving people a verbal vision, if you will, I mean, like you're going around the trap kit. I mean, what does that maybe look like, splashes of color wise?
Well, it really depends on what I'm playing.
Yeah.
And the mood, the music, everything. Like mostly songs that are, it's hard to describe, but if it's kind of energetic and upbeat, I see kind of bright colors. If the mood is kind of bold or dark, then I see kind of like earth tone colors.
I got you.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Sometimes I see green, and it depends on the like I said, the sounds I'm hearing and the energy from the audience. It's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
So,
but it's been a consistent theme even before you had physical blindness.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got a big project here at the Arts Council that we're working on.
Yes.
It revolves around an art exhibit for the blind and low vision folks, a tactile exhibit, and we're calling it Color and Sound.
Yes.
The whole exhibit is being supported by the Alabama State Council of the Arts, Blue Cross Blue Shield Caring Foundation, and of course the Shelby County Arts Council. And the title of that particular exhibit and the series that we're doing is all about named after a project that you did.
Yes.
Called Color and Sound.
Color and Sound. Yes.
So what's that deal like?
Well, Color and Sound was actually, I was trying to give people some therapy during the pandemic, because people were losing their jobs, homes, worried about income and stuff like that. So and in fact I was aware I was losing my sight as well.
Yeah.
So
you
it was
needed some therapy.
Yeah. So just something that the kind to calm everybody down, and just everybody was going through anxiety and just pretty much therapy for just for everybody, including myself.
Giving yourself hope, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Give yourself something to look forward to, something to,
Yeah.
some, sense of a brighter day, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, me along, I'm sure a lot of people, but I can feel different energies in the atmosphere. I can feel that everybody was frustrated and scared and, didn't know what was going to happen. Everybody was panicking and stuff like that. So I just wanted to do an album to kind of, relax everybody and say, give everybody hope and just say, hey, just we'll be okay. Just relax,
The sonic massage.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Kind of relax everybody, chill
Mm-hmm.
them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's back to the theme, imagine, create, and inspire, which at the end of the day produces hope, and hope's the opposite of destitute thinking.
Exactly.
And, so I that's why I love these conversations. It always comes down to the fact that making music, making art is not optional.
Yeah.
It makes us human. It's mission critical.
Yes.
And so, this idea that you were going to dispense therapy, if you will, to other folks started inside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you started doing it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do that for yourself, you assume, hey, it's got to be good for somebody else out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've gotten, messages and emails from all people from all walks of life, even like brain surgeons from overseas, or emailing me saying they listened to my album, they listened to it before, it helps relax them. Of course, artists, they enjoy the album, musicians. One of my friends, he told me it was a painting of sound.
Yeah, yeah.
When he listened to it, he said it's a painting of sound.
Yeah.
And that's, I kind of wanted to, I knew that's what it was, but I didn't know how to describe it, but he hit it, on the head with that. It's a painting of sound.
Yeah, I like that, man. It makes sense to me. And it's, in some ways, it's stronger than, I don't want to, a lot of visual artists are my friends and cohorts and maybe listen to this. And of course, I'm a visual artist as well. And the weakness, if there is a weakness in visual art, is that, when you're done, you're done. It's hanging on the wall. And of course, people can interpret it differently, but you as an artist can't put it out any differently.
Exactly.
The beautiful thing about what you're doing, or what people do with improvisational music, is they do paint a picture, a sonic picture, every time they play, and it does affect people therapeutically in that way.
Yeah, with my music, I try to write songs. I look at music as, in dimensions. I look at it as, dimensions. I look at it up, down, in, out, and then temperatures and all that. It's just weird how I try to, express myself
That's
through
good,
music.
Man. It's multidimensional.
Yeah. When I create music, I want people to be able to close their eyes and see what they're hearing. I want people to see with their ears.
It's like they walked into your environment. that you created.
Exactly.
So it's multidimensional senses.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Can you see? That's a matter of curiosity to me, and you don't have to answer this other than any way you feel it. But can you see those dimensions more clearly now that your physical side is diminished?
I've always been able to see them, but it's a lot stronger now. Since one sense is weakened. My intuition senses have gotten stronger. My hearing, my sense of smell, everything has gotten stronger.
Like Spider-Man, man.
Yeah. It's funny because my dad is like, you hear stuff. I'm like, who turned on the TV next door and all that? I just joke. Who turned on the TV downstairs? Y'all hear that? He's like, huh? What?
Well, speaking of your dad, Ed, he's kind of famous around town.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your musical heritage from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and, my mother's side of the family as well. I'm related to musicians such as like Adolphus Bell.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's a cousin, and, just different musicians on both sides of the family. So I've been fortunate to grow up around artists, and my dad's side of the family, the Crenshaw side. It's not just musicians. We have people that are like involved in the arts, like visual artists, dance, acting,
Yeah,
writing.
I saw, was it a cousin of yours or
Yeah.
something at the School
Yeah.
of Fine Arts? It was,
Well, yeah, she Rachel Lockhart is a cousin. She's at Juilliard right now,
wow.
and she's actually a contestant on So You Think You Can Dance now.
Ah, my wife would be all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and her mother is
Yeah.
well known. I got to shout out my cousin Jackie Lockhart.
Yeah.
So she's a well known, choreographer and dancer and actor. So
Yeah. Everybody making art. Mm-hmm. Igniting people's imaginations.
yeah,
Definitely.
and it's funny because we all communicate with each other. We like, hey, she like, hey cousin, what you doing? I'm like, hey cousin, what you doing? So they inspire me.
Yeah.
I inspire them. She calls me all the time like, I'm saying this in my head. I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know how.
Yeah. It's nice to have those kind of
Yeah.
people that you can have those conversations with. That have another level other than,
Yeah.
how you doing.
Yeah, and I have, other cousins, JW and Robert and John, all my cousins, they write and produce, and everybody's just I'm just proud of everybody. Everybody's doing things.
Yeah, man.
My brother Dwayne, he's a musician and he's a visual artist. My oldest brother Edward, he plays drums, so I'm just surrounded by arts.
Yeah, I bet your family reunion is rocking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, my dad, he jokes because most of the people in my family are percussionists. So it's probably like 2 or 3 horn players.
Yeah, he plays a trombone.
Yeah,
right,
he's
as
brass
his primary.
player.
Yeah.
Tuba and trombone. But
Yeah.
most years ago we used to get together on both sides of the family, just have big percussion jam sessions and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I think you posted a couple of those in the past. I enjoyed those, man.
Yeah.
Well, now, I've always known you as a percussionist, as a drummer, great kit drummer. When you played with Two Blue and the Lucky Stills a few times, that was some good times. And,
Yeah.
and you do the best walk around solo, drum solo of anybody. It's
Yeah.
legendary.
Thank you.
Playing Coke bottles and mic stands and people's heads and drink bottles and everything.
And I miss my buddy Dave Gowns, man. Miss him.
Yeah, man, Dave Tito Goins. We all miss him.
He was a great guy, and he's actually, influenced me in a lot of playing and stuff like that. So he's missed dearly from my heart. So.
Yeah, he thought a lot of you, man. I know that for real.
Yeah.
I mean, that was he always, when we played, it was always an honor for him to share the stage with you, and so we all sure miss him. It surprised me, I guess, after all those years of knowing you, instructor of percussion at the Alabama Blues Project and playing with various bands, famous and not so famous, that you play the guitar as well, man.
Yeah.
Did you just pick that up, or?
No, I actually, I started plucking on the guitar in 6th grade, and the reason why, because my teacher, Miss Clark, she gave me an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And she said, you're going to be, successful in music, and I want you to have this. So that's how I started playing guitar.
That's awesome. About what grade was that?
6th grade.
6th grade. You might
Yeah.
have said that. I missed it. Wow, 6th grade.
And then, my middle school band, it started in elementary school. Daryl Curry, he started me on drums. Well, no, let me go back. My father started me on, he wanted me to play strings, so he would bring home a violin and different things. I didn't like the violin, so he gave me a cello. And that's the first thing I started learning on cello.
I had no idea, man.
And then, my from after that, my drum instructor and music teacher, Daryl Curry, who my father taught in high school, he started me on drums when I was like in I think 2nd or 3rd grade.
Wow, man.
And then, from that point, my middle school music teacher, Glenn Sears, Mr. Sears, he.
See, man,
Yeah.
the fact that you can remember all those names,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like that. I mean, so all you music teachers and art teachers out there that you might think what you're doing, spending an hour a week with a kid or whatever, or 5 hours a week, I mean, what you're doing is significant.
Yeah.
Inspiring a kid's imagination and encouraging them to create will stick with them for a life. You know, and even so in this digital age, even more so maybe.
Yeah, and I, even to Dr. Frank Adams, he inspired me a lot when it comes to like jazz and all types of music. I would my dad would take my brother and I to the Carver Theater on Saturdays, and we would take drum lessons or just learn how to play jazz. Dr. Adams was a big influence in my life. And just Mr. Blaylock at Huffman High School. He inspired me, and just
you didn't get in trouble much, did you?
No.
I was a
band nerd. So.
Yeah, too busy making music. That's awesome, man. Well, we got this two significant dates related to this color and sound thing. On the 28th of July, we're going to open up the exhibit, and you're going to come give an artist talk that day, kind of more of an intimate sit-down with your guitar, kind of like we're doing now, except with an audience. And we're gonna reveal the exhibit to folks, and then on the 6th of August, sometime after that, you're going to actually perform color and sound in the Song Theater here at the Arts Council.
Yes.
What you got in your mind? How that's going to go, man?
Well, you know how my mind works, Bruce.
So what you're saying is you don't know.
I have an idea, but I'm like, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? Okay. But it's gonna. I'm planning it to be, fun and energetic, and
we're gonna show the visuals.
Yeah,
big on stage, and so if you got low vision, even so, you'll be able to see this dynamic imagery that you put together for this video, and then of course you're going to figure out how to perform it live.
Yeah, I'm going to perform it, but I just want to I want to kind of redo the album, but we'll see.
Yeah, got a lot of room for improv.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun performance. So, even for the people who cannot see or low vision, they'll be able to feel. That's my main thing. I want everybody to feel the music.
Yeah.
If you can't, really see it or anything, I want you to be able to feel it.
Right on.
And, yeah.
Right on. Get in that Dave Crenshaw sixth sense. Yeah. Some spidey senses. Yeah. All right, Dave, this color and sound thing is going to be great. And we want people to come out on August 6th and see this multidimensional performance. But, I was surprised to find out in recent months, I guess you'd say, that Dave Crenshaw could sing. I didn't know that, man. I knew you were writing some music all along, but I didn't know you could sing. And I confess I didn't know till about a year ago that you played guitar. Yeah. So we talked about that a little bit, how you got started. But anyway, bringing those two things together, you've been songwriting quite a bit lately.
Yes. Yeah.
What you working on?
I've been working actually on 3 projects at one time. So on November 7th, I did a live album with just songs that I wrote during the pandemic break, and that's when I kind of introduced myself as a vocalist and songwriter, and on other instruments besides the drums. Everybody's used to seeing me on drums.
Yeah.
And then now I'm working on a studio album. It's a story of my musical family heritage on mother and father side of the family.
Right.
That's dated back to like the 30s and all the way up to now. So I just wanted to tell a story. Awesome, of the music and things that I grew up listening to that influenced me to write my music and everything.
So this stuff happens to you during the pandemic over the past couple of years, and I know that maybe you went down the rabbit hole a few times worried about it, but you come out more creative than ever.
Yes. Yeah.
So man, why don't you take us out with play a tune from one of your latest projects, brother?
Okay.
I am not worthy to have you here when my was down, you were always near. When I was weak, you made me strong, because your love will always be, yeah, stronger than gold. When I was sad, you made me smile, because your love will always be, yeah, stronger than gold. When I had fear, you wiped my tears, because your love will always be stronger than gold. You are the reason why I breathe air. You gave me life in this world. And for that we love you so much. You will always have the key to my heart. Stronger than gold. Love is stronger than gold. Your love is stronger than gold. Your love is stronger than gold. Because your love will always be stronger than gold.
Yeah, man. That's a wrap. Join us next time on Imagine, Create, and Inspire. Thank you, Dave, man.
Thanks for listening to Imagine, Create, Inspire, the podcast. For more information on the Shelby County Arts Council, please visit www.shelbycountyartscouncil.com.